Hey everyone, Vasky here. I'm going to do a summary on my previous video on why healing isn't fun anymore, especially in Dragonflight. As a short introduction of myself, I'm a healer since the inception of World of Warcraft, playing Arena really since Burning Crusade back in the days. I competed in the AWC and various other tournaments, and I quitted real PvP somewhere in early January, and ever since, until my subscription was running out, I was playing a bit of fun arenas and mostly DPS stuff in Shuffle. Yeah, so everything that follows is just my opinion. Obviously, you're free to disagree and have a different opinion on that. I'm not going to claim the following is bias free because it's just not possible. I played the comps I played in the past, and therefore some form of bias obviously will happen, even if I try to be as neutral as possible. Okay, so since a few years, I feel like the game design went slowly anti-healer and anti-skill expression finesse, with the worst state so far happens at the moment. At the moment, damage is more important than anything else, especially more important than outplay stuff or setup on opponent teams. Comps that usually do this, like Shadowplay or Rogue Mage or FMP or KFG or KFC back in the day, they're all just not working as good anymore, and Zaxxak comps are just better at the moment, or in general comps that have an easy time to pump out DPS, and that means for the healer that the arena is basically getting M+inized, and you're staying back and just pumping HPS all of the time, because the moment you try to participate in the game with a CC or stuff, you're likely falling behind on healing output and therefore will lose the game, especially in solo shuffle where dampening is ramping pretty fast. I'm not going to go into the solo shuffle issues here. There's a lot of videos out there that already did that. Just one thing, as a healer, shuffle is mostly not fun, because the moment you're not a meta healing class, it feels like you're playing into a meta healing class without fuel. So even if you're the better player, you can't really turn the tide, because the enemy healer will have to spend less mana for the same amount of healing as you do, and sometimes they do not even worry about getting CC'd, even if it's only the short amount of micro CCs, because maybe there's HOTS running, or there's a totem down, or they're anyway, as the Fist Weaver, just standing in the middle and don't be interested in whatever happens to them, because they just can heal and stuff. You know, there's issues with that. In general, the healer, which has the most HPS while need to spend the least amount of mana, is having an easier time in shuffle. But I'm not going into that too much, as I said. So I'd like to say, in my opinion, what makes playing a healer fun in arena. For me, fun as a healer means I can participate in participate in killing opportunities and shape the arena game in that regard. So I like to have the chance to help my team securing the kill with kind of setups. That's fun to me. It's not fun for me to stand back at the pillar and just pump HPS and wait until the enemy team is throwing any kind of short CC onto myself, and then after that I try to recover. That's not fun for me. What is fun for me also is stopping the enemy team and their aggression. So if I see them trying to go for something like a sheep or a trap, or any kind of CC on me, if I can see that and I have the opportunity to stop that, let's say I can sack a sheep, I taunt a trap, I pre-bob a smoke bomb, I fade the enemy's hot shot here, or I death stuff, or I can ground the breath or a deep freeze back in the days. I pre-aura mastery or freedom and root beam, such things. These are fun and these need to be impactful, and they are at the moment not as impactful, and sometimes they don't matter, and that's the sad part. The impact of all of these, let's say, skill plays is at an all-time low, and that needs to be changed as soon as possible to bring back to having the healers fun in the game. And that also means that usual healer involving comps like Shatter or God Comp or jungle, rogue mage, in general setup comps. Even if some of you remember back in the days KFC or KFG, even when the healers were able to participate with stuff, these in dire need to come back, and that needs to happen fast, at least for me. Else it's just being a heal bot, and I don't like that. So another thing that counters fun as a healer are the random procs that's in the game and the amount of area of effect stuff that the enemy DPS or in general the DPS has. Random procs, as mentioned, you can't plan for random procs, and if the enemy elemental shaman is proccing a stand and is killing a whole team, that doesn't feel fun to the healer. It just doesn't, because you can't know that up front. It just happens. I mean, it's fine if something or if some stuff happens and you have to react to that. Not everything needs to be plannable, but a lot of it should be plannable. And if random stuff happens, you shouldn't be in a situation where you lose the game just because the enemy is blessed by Fortuna. That shouldn't happen. Yeah. In general, I also feel like there's too much micro CC in the game. That's also annoying as a healer. If you, as a Holy Paladin, for example, you have Infusion proc up and want to cast a Flash of Light, and you get stopped by insane amounts of 1 second to 2 second CCs that get chained onto you. This is not real CC. I'm perfectly fine as a healer to sit a 7-second sheep into a 4-second sheep into a silence. I'm completely fine with that, because when that happens, I know that the enemy team is likely not having the damage to kill me or my team in that regard in less than a second, because else the CC wouldn't be as long. Or in general, summary on that, the more you shrink the CC duration, the higher the DPS damage needs to be, because they have to kill in that amount of CC. No, it's just one thing is dependent on the other, and that's at the moment not fun. So make the CC longer again, give me back my 2 minutes trinket as a healer, and let me be actively destroying enemy goals. That's fun. Yeah, then again, as I mentioned, I want to participate in win conditions, but more often than not at the moment as a healer, you are only the loss condition. So if you push in, and even if you get your CC, sometimes it's delayed for so long with some of the stuff that it's just bad. Even if you get the CC, you're just behind and you will lose the game. Also not good, needs to be changed. Then on the game in general, the games will be always kind of dampy, especially on the high rating. These players are rarely doing mistakes, and therefore the game will be dampy. But we get a problem when the games on the lower end are also dampy, because you need to wait until the enemy healer does not have mana anymore. As example, the Resto Druid at the moment, you usually cannot win the game until the Resto Druid is out of mana, because he has so much HPS and he's just standing back and his boys are healing. It's not even the rest of the it's the boys, it's the trans that are going to pump out a lot of the healing. And yeah, that's also not good, and it's not fun. It's not fun for the enemy team, and it's not even fun for the rest of the druid itself. He presses the boys once, twice, 3 times, sitting bare form behind the pillar. It's a bit over exaggerated, but you know what I mean. That this is not fun even as the rest of the druid. I would bet everything, and I played Resto Druid myself, that most Resto Druids have more fun if they see their own team are going for a kill, and they can go in and they can cast a clone and they get the clone off, and they secure the kill by helping with clones or damage sometimes, but mostly Resto Druid obviously is cloning. That's guaranteed more fun than sitting behind the pillar all the time, pressing HOTS, pressing the boys, and waiting for something to die. 100%. Then again, since the skill discrepancy is irrelevant today, even in the lower end, you can't. Even if as a better player, you're not able to overrun the enemy team. You can't make a big benefit out of enemy mistakes, because how the game is designed at the moment, that also has to be changed. If my team is, let's say, multi-rank 1 players, if we are playing fresh characters, and I'm not going on to the part if that's good or bad at the moment to have a lot of characters and stuff, that's a different thing. But let's say we're playing fresh characters, full geared, and we are in the 2.2 region, and we're facing players, and we can feel like we are much better than the enemy team, and we can feel that really, then they have to flop fast. And if they don't, then it's not because they are suddenly the enemy team is suddenly having an increase in skill out of nowhere. Maybe that happens once in 100 games, but usually it's not. It's because the game is designed in a way that the skill difference doesn't matter anymore, and then you get into the problem that the whole game feels generic. It feels the same regardless if it's 2.2, 2.7. It feels generic. You can't even. Sometimes it feels the same. You can't see the difference between the 2.2 team and the 2.7 team. At least not in the obvious way. There's differences, but you get the point. Yeah, it's too close because the game is not allowing for the really good players to show what they are capable of. Let's put it that way. Yeah, so that was a real short summary. If you want to see the full thing, I would highly advise you to watch it. Really, I was showing stuff and explaining much more. It's on this channel. You can check it out. These are my thoughts on the healing situation. I hope it changed, because at the moment healing is just no fun at all. And yeah, please be changed in the future. Yeah, let's hope all together. Time for watching. See you next time.